Hi, welcome back or welcome to my channel. This is Emily. I am here to do a reading for Cancer for the month of May. We're gonna work through a couple of oracle decks, and then we will do a 9-card spread for tarot. And I didn't do this really last month, but I will definitely be doing some clarifiers so that we can get a little bit deeper. I don't do extended readings right now. I only do one longer reading. I understand it's not for everybody, and that's okay. If it is for you and you could click that like button or subscribe for me, I would really appreciate it. It does help the channel for sure. And I have started this YouTube journey just recently, so all of your support is so appreciated. I love what I do, and I love that I do it for you all. I love you. I'm sending lots of love your way. So let's get started. I'll try not to hit the table because it jostles the camera. So I'm gonna grab a couple of tea leaves and a couple of animal cards. We'll see what comes out. And I know that you guys like when I shuffle on camera. But if you have an opinion about shuffling and you'd like to just see me get started with cards, let me know in the comments below, because I'm happy to do it any which way. This is for you, not for me. All right. Spirit. Cancer, the month of May, please. Cancer. That is too many. I don't know if we were ready. Cancer, please. The month of May. Teardrops. Oh, great personal sorrow. Okay, let's see what else we get. Pineapple. Reconciliation. Rabbit. Too much concern with sexual matters. Seems like this is a relationship we're talking about. Thank you to the tea leaves. Let's get a few more and then we'll dive in. Cancer, please, for May. What does Cancer need to know? Thank you, Spirit. I was on vacation with my kiddos, and it was fun, but I missed you guys. Let's see. The bee. Busy as a bee. Hummingbird. Deer. And spider. Okay. Here's what I'm seeing right now. For Cancer, you all, for some of you, not all of you, for some of you, this is about a relationship, and I'm talking to a divine feminine. And I say that because the deer is a very feminine energy and embodies a lot of feminine qualities of calmness and peace. And you think of like the stillness in the forest and you see a deer creep in, and that's kind of the energy that I'm taking from this deer. And it seems like you're in a bit of a forest right now. You are trying to choose what's most important. And it seems as though for some of you, there was a fight. There was very hurt feelings. And these hurt feelings were triggered by something. I'm assuming from, as Spirit would say, your inner child, where you had some experience as a child that left you feeling less than, and would create then when someone is wanting to push your buttons, that they push your buttons, and that I would also say maybe you're a crier. I'm a crier. Not necessarily like baby elephants and, when Mufasa dies in The Lion King, but when I'm talking to someone and I'm really concerned that my opinion isn't being heard, I might tear up. And that's why I'm sharing this with you, because I feel like you might be someone that tears up and kind of has to like wipe the tear from the side of your cheek. You want it to stay in. You want to not cry, but you do cry. And that is kind of a button for somebody else. And that button, they don't want to see you cry, but you're upset and they're the ones that upset you. And it's just kind of this cycle, where if it's something that you feel like you can work on, Spirit is definitely suggesting that there is joy here. We'll look a little bit more at these cards, but there's a lot of joy in you as you are Cancer, in you. However, there is also this hesitation, the rabbit with too much concern with sexual matters. It's as if the relationship that you're in with someone, or that you were in with someone, and this is where the sorrow still lies, is one of those relationships where you are drawn to someone because they are drawn to you. It's like, oh, you love me, I'll love you. And you want to reconcile because you don't like conflict. You are very protective of your feelings, of your family, of kind of everybody's feelings, and you would rather just avoid what you can, or if nothing else, get it all out and then make up. And I have a feeling that the makeup part might be sexual for some of you, not all of you. And if it doesn't resonate, that's fine. Just drop it and leave it for someone else. But if you resolve conflicts sexually with a partner, again, likely divine feminine, so with a divine masculine partner, male or female, that you are not in soul connection with, then it simply becomes an act of doing. And like the bee is a busy worker and the hummingbird is busy doing its job, and the speed at which these do things, these three do things, is kind of suggesting that it's too fast. Like the makeup is too fast. That you're being called upon, as it is underneath the rabbit and the pineapple, to use more discernment maybe, and a calmer, more patient, wait it out, that it will be okay kind of energy. Where for some of you, you may have been in this situation where you just jump in to solve it, and you may solve it by having makeup sex, or you may solve it by, physical touch. You may solve it by just looking for ways that you can make everything all right. Okay, so let's look at these real quick and see what else they're telling me. Of course, we turn right to the deer. Right, the deer represents the feminine aspect of earth energy. The energy is available to all creatures, regardless of gender. So for some reason, I'm feeling like stressing the gender piece, but is especially potent in new parents. So maybe this is a time when you are concerned, like you've just had a baby, or you know of a friend who just had a baby, and it's really hard to get back into the practice of being with your partner. Because, I mean, good God, like, you know, what did we just do down there? So it might be about you being concerned what you're not interested in doing, as much as some of you are interested in, you know, having the makeup sex. There's others of you that Spirit would want me to say, take your time. It's okay. You can come back to that type of pleasure in your own time. And for some people, talking about sex is uncomfortable, and I will not spend too much time on it, but in general, it's something that humans do. And I think there's oftentimes people who are worried about, am I giving my partner enough? Or am I asking for too much? And it is definitely a point of contention in a lot of relationships, because it is so deep within us, this need for that connection. And the way we get that connection, if you've ever heard of the 7 love languages, I'd suggest looking at them. You probably would be able to point yourself out and your partner or someone that is your dream partner and what type of love language they might speak. I might do a whole reading on love languages. Anyways, it's an interesting hold up, I think, for a lot of relationships or people who are not even in relationships. For those of you that are single who have said like, oh my gosh, I haven't had sex in like 4 years. Like it could have been a really long time. And you're wondering, is there something wrong with me? Should I be doing this? So there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure to perform. But if you're in a difficult place, if you've either had a fight with your partner or you're dealing with something of a loss, that is not something to be concerned about right now. Nor is it something that I think is really healthy to signify the makeup. So again, embodying this deer personality, it says, a deer personality affects others in this way. Their inner beauty radiates and a sense of grace calms the room. And that doesn't sound like busily trying to solve something or make something better or make up for something that you feel like you're lacking. It seems very poignant that you would have the deer. Okay, spider. Spider. I love this set, but this book is so small. Oh, there it is. Spider. I'll pick it up. Creator of prosperity through life's work. Dharma. The spider is an ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of Dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider, both financially and spiritually. It is hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than results-oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance will follow. And what I think Spirit is trying to get across here is that you have the ability to really appreciate and value your relationship so much that it doesn't have to have anything to do with the stuff that happens in the bedroom. It doesn't have anything to do with what you've done or not done to solidify something. And it's more about patience, appreciation, and what you desire. Abundance in lots of ways can be present in your life. What you desire will come to you. It won't feel like you have to work so hard to reconcile something, to make it all better. Okay. It's like this spider is over this deer. Together they make quite a little pair. All right. We're into flying things. Oh, they're right next to each other. Oh my goodness. Page 159. Earnest, hardworking, democratic. The bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work. Then they gripe. And then, oh, I'm reading the bee. Oh, that's so interesting. I just looked at this and I'm like, then they gripe and they sting. Why did I do that? There's a reason for everything in a reading. The hummingbird and the bee. Interesting. Well, let's read the hummingbird and we'll come back to this. Interesting. The hummingbird, thank you. Inside the tiny hummingbird resides an endless well of energy and positivity. The hummingbird's secret is that it has learned where to gather nectar, and it returns to these sources daily for nourishment and rejuvenation. This sacred elixir springs from many sources, but usually involves nature, creativity, and exploring spirituality. Following the way of the hummingbird, you cannot go wrong. Every droplet of life becomes sweet, every moment worth savoring. So, I'm very interested in the fact that, and I'm not going to edit that out because I looked at the card, I picked it up, and then I read the bee. As if there's confusion about what your role is in the relationship. That you're not sure, what part we play, because we all play a part. My dad would say it takes two to tango. It's a dance, it's a relationship, it's a partnership. It takes two. So what in the relationship are you responsible for, do you feel like? Or are you responsible for too much that you're not able to enjoy what you have worked for or sought after because you just keep working and you just keep going and there's no time for anything else? It makes a lot of sense that there's kind of like an ache in your heart that, is this what life really is? Have I worked really hard to gather all these things for my family, for my friends, for my life? But do you feel satisfied? Do you feel like you have reached a place where you feel the joy of something? And Spirit is definitely talking to you about figuring out what role you play. Because although the hummingbird and the bee both look for something to gather in and take with them and appreciate and build on, they're completely different flying things. they're completely different in their perception that others have of them as well, where the hummingbird presents itself really beautifully, and people want hummingbirds around their house, and oh my gosh, look at the hummingbirds. You can barely see them sometimes. And for a lot of people, the bee can sometimes be scary, can sometimes be, an allergy for people. The bee is not for everybody. And I'm thinking that you are, whoever I'm speaking with, Divine Feminine, you are someone that is a little bit unsure of your role right now. And it's really important that we find that out. That you sit in your forest around all the trees that have become part of your environment and examine where it is that you are, and do you want to be somewhere else? Because no amount of sex is going to make up for if you want to be somewhere else. You can have sex all you want, but if you don't, and you know this, if you do not truly love the person that you are with, you do not truly love the person you are with. At some point, there's a saying, I love you, I don't have to like you right now, where there's a relationship that gets taxed or that has, there's a fight that happens because you disagree about something, but you always will love them. You just don't have to like them right now. And you may not love who you're with. And again, this is not for everybody. There's other scenarios that we're talking about here where you may have gone too quickly to sex and not worked out the details of your relationship. Or you might feel like you are not necessarily putting out, I don't know how better, more directly to say it, when you should be. But there's nothing that you should be doing other than taking care of yourself. And there's some confusion, even in the case of the spider, where you may be, first of all, on this side, where this is like maybe your job or something like that. Some aspect of the life that you live is very emblematic of the spider. And as if this deer is like your neutral, right? Where you want to get for meditation purposes. You come over to this side and it's like, well, is she going to sting? Or is she going to flutter? Is she going to buzz? Or is she going to be very quiet? A hum, So let me get just a couple more oracle cards to try to help us out here. Do you love your person, but you don't like them right now? Do you love yourself? Do you have reconciliation that you need to make for yourself? Reconciliation with maybe you haven't always been yourself. And it's easy to get lost in relationships. Okay. Spirit, for Cancer, please. For Cancer, what do they need to know right now about this identity? Who are they? What do they need to know right now about this confusion? Confusion. Okay. These just want to pop out. Confusion. What do they need to know right now? How can we help them? with this confusion, Spirit? The throat chakra. This makes a lot of sense. You have a truth inside of you. And that truth needs to be spoken. Literally spoken. To someone. I don't know who that person is. We can ask Tarot for some clarification. To someone. To yourself first. I know it sounds silly, but standing in front of the mirror and saying something to yourself that's validating and appreciative of who you are is so, so important. And then, of course, I get the idea that you need to stand up for yourself. That you have some choices to make. And maybe someone thinks that you're a bumblebee. And you're going to have an opportunity to say, actually, I'm a hummingbird. And I have been all along. I tried to be something else for you. But I'm not at peace anymore. I never really was. Not something you necessarily have to say to that person, but for your own knowing, were you ever? And maybe the answer is no. Maybe you thought you could grow into love with this person because they love you. So you think. So they think. True divine love, there is not a question of whether or not there's love. Okay, so let's move these up. Rabbit. Can you move over a little bit, please? No pineapple. Thank you. I don't think this is going to be centered, but I'm going to just deal with my OCD about that. Oh, and where are you going to go? Dang it. All right, well, the bumblebee is going to share the throat chakra. Did you ever see the Bee movie? That was a good movie. Even there's identity within bees. You know, who are they going to be? Okay, so we're going to do a 9-card spread. Given the information that I have from your oracle cards, I may ask things a little bit differently. In fact, I may not. I was going to do past, present, and future. But let's go in the direction of you and this person. Okay, so you and this person. Actually, this will be good. Sorry, I'm figuring this out as I go. Okay, the throat chakra is going to be here because you have to talk to each other. Whoever this person is. Less physical, more talk. All right. I have not used these cards in a very long time, and they're not my best shuffling deck. But we'll go with it. Cancer, please. What does Cancer need to know for May? May can be a big month for you. Every month is a big month, I feel like. I don't know. There's always big opportunities. There's always big opportunities. Even if it's in the most subtle of ways, like the deer, or building the spider web. I'm just kind of a hoper, you know? Okay, Spirit, what does Cancer need to know, please? For May. Let's see. All right, we're going to do, how do they see you? How does this person see you? And that will go on this side. And then you see this person. How does this person see you? Three of Cups. Six of Wands. Oh, you are definitely love. You are definitely love to this person. It may be someone like a family member that you just haven't been really honest with about what it is that you're doing in your life or what you want to be doing, because you're too busy like keeping up appearances and your family's always had these expectations. Because this is what they think of you. They think it's a loving relationship. And that there is great confidence that they have in this relationship with you. You represent to them all of the nurturing qualities. And you give them a sense of security. You are very much a motherly figure to them. And even if this is a sexual relationship, the divine masculine and the divine feminine take care of each other. And this divine masculine, I would say, definitely feels you are in that role. All right. What do you think of this person in this reading? What does Cancer think of this person? And you know what? I may not be asking the right question. What do you think of this person? How do you feel about this person? How does Cancer feel about this person? Yep. Okay. Interesting. Threes are all about creativity and growth and expanding. The King of Cups is a great partner. The Ace of Cups, I mean, it could be a new relationship. You could be married to this person. This may very well be your husband, and we're talking about, a fight that you had that is kind of in the I love you, but I don't like you right now category. And really just kind of letting the dust settle and having the conversation. But there is something here about how much you're doing and what you feel like maybe you're not doing enough of, but you're already doing so much. Because although you have these two amazing cards, which would tell me that you're either in a happy relationship or this is how you are hoping to be in a happy relationship with someone if you're single. And this is what you are manifesting. But in manifesting this, real or in the spiritual realm at the moment, you are burning yourself out. You are feeling like you're not sure, again, what your role is. And that is causing stress and anxiety and indecisiveness. Yes, it can be a positive quality to be so flexible, but I'm not sure how flexible you should be without losing yourself. Because although you can be very, very creative, and you may have amazing dreams, you may be someone, and again, take it as it resonates, you may be someone who remembers their dreams vividly. I remember, sometimes I remember even like what the person was wearing, right down to like whether or not it was like corduroys or something. Anyways, it's important that you are focused on this definition of yourself, because however it is you're going to move forward, this is a time actually for you to do so without rushing into it, knowing that you will either reconcile into a relationship that you're not in yet, or you will reconcile in the relationship that you're in. And that will make all the difference in how unsettled you're feeling right now. It's like the deer heard something rustling and it has that anxiety when, out pops like a squirrel or something. Actually, squirrel is about productivity. So I'm getting the sense that you are just one of those doers and those really productive people that everybody says, oh, she'll do it, or, oh, he'll do it, because you make it look easy, or because you are just kind of that person. And this is a gateway opportunity in May for whatever comes about. And again, this is May, so this may not have happened yet. So allow for that. We haven't seen a tower. Maybe we'll see a tower in this reading, but allow for that to come in, because it is an opportunity for you to embrace this sense of, you know what? I really don't like doing the laundry. And your spouse or your person will say, oh, I don't mind it. And suddenly that just gets kind of worked out. Or I'm so exhausted cooking dinner every night. And your spouse will say, oh, I thought you loved cooking dinner. Male, female, doesn't matter. Gender neutral, doesn't matter. I thought you loved cooking dinner. It's just, it takes a lot of effort to figure out what I'm going to make. And after I get home from work, I'm just, or, being with the kids, or whatever that exhausting day looks like, because it does look like you can have a pretty exhausting day if you put yourself up to it. And you often, I would assume, put yourself up to it. Anyways, that, the person that you're with would say, oh, I'll cook dinner. Or if you're single, which you may not be forever, because you are definitely calling in love here, it's important for you to take the opportunity to figure some of this out so that you go into the relationship in a different place. Maybe not as focused on, the sexual piece, not as focused on, oh, if you love me, I love you, and not losing yourself in it. For some of you, that will resonate. But, continue on your path. Spirit's just asking for you to have some clarity and to speak your truth. Because it might be something that you're better at just kind of being the underlying unsatisfied, maybe, or I don't care what we watch kind of person. When if you were all by yourself at home, would you be watching what was on TV? Using those moments to say, actually, in your head, like, what would I like to watch? And if it doesn't come to you, well, then maybe you just want to watch, TV to mind out and whatever. But it also may mean that you haven't thought of yourself in a while. And it's important to do that. Okay, so let's look at what is the future of this relationship? Actually, let me think this through. What is the advice for you in dealing with this person? Because this is how you view them. And this is how they view you. So what is the advice for the person on the right, or on the left, to deal with the person on the right? What? Oh, too many. What is the advice for the person on the left to deal with the person on the right? Okay. Wheel of Fortune, yeah, intuition. You have an opportunity here. You have an opportunity to trust your intuition, to go within. The High Priestess has this veil that if you pushed this aside, there's a whole world behind her. And what does that look like? What does that divine look like? And only you can answer that question. But it's hidden right now. It's not being communicated. And it should be, because you deserve it. Followed by the Wheel of Fortune. Together, this is about using your intuition to change something in your life. That this is the driving force for this wheel to spin. Not do more, not be more. Go within. Be within yourself when making decisions about how to be on the outside. If that makes sense. Okay. For you, what is this person's next action? What is the right's next action for the left? It's amazing in asking the right questions that you can get such deep answers from Spirit. Okay. What is the next actions of the other person? One more shuffle. Yeah, they're not going anywhere. They are towards you, there is a pause. And if in fact this person is in the 3D right now with you, in real time with you, there's like a delay. And that may be where you feel like, oh, I should just, and it will be solved, and I'll just give in, or, you know, I'll say sorry first, or I don't really have to do that. I can do this instead. The compromiser, when this person is kind of holding out, and in the 5D, which is spiritually not having been manifested yet, it's like unfinished business. They know that there's unfinished business. But there's also this sense of like, I'm just going to hunker down. I don't really need to do anything about it right now. I'm just going to wait this one out a little bit. He or she or they usually just come to me and we figure it out. Or you know that you compromise in who you're with or what you're doing. And then that's just one more time where you haven't taken the opportunity to change what your life looks like. One small change at a time. What you watch on TV, what you have for dinner, maybe what you look like. That could definitely transform in some way to care about what you look like more than you do, or to that you care about what you look like, but did you ever want to cut your hair? Or, you know, why don't you go through your closet? In essence, like, do you dress like a bee, but you want to be a hummingbird? Can you weave your way into a different reality? Absolutely. Okay, what is the outcome? Whoa. What is the outcome of this? Yeah, this is amazing. There is healing. Your perseverance, your hard work pays off. This was hard, but you will see results. You will be appreciated for your kindness. Your union with someone will be celebrated. I see, you know, family coming together. This is reconciliation, as it is over the throat chakra. You're in a really good place. So I'm just going to ask for any advice for Cancer right now. Any last advice for Cancer, please? 2 more shuffles. Any last advice for Cancer, please? Yeah, you right now feel like you are out in the cold, that you're alone, that there might not be a way out of this, or no one's ever going to love you, or someone's not going to accept you in the way that you want to be. And you are left to your own mind and heart to suffer, when what you could be doing would be accepted by your tribe. So yes, if you have been one way, yes, a flyer, yes, gathering, you know, that nectar or that pollen in a similar way, but you're not necessarily going to hang out with the bumblebees or the honeybees or whatever kind of bee it is. if you're a hummingbird. It's just not going to happen. But whoever this is loves you. And love, true love, is deep. So give them the chance by communicating, because this will not necessarily come out if you're waiting for them, if this is like a waiting game. And if you're not in a relationship right now, this person will not manifest if this is like a waiting game with you. For this to truly be realized, speak your truth. Be who you are. Love yourself with grace and compassion. You're very powerful. Okay, Cancer, this is May 2024. I will be back later this month to do a mid-month reading for you. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your world. Again, if this resonated for you, press that like button, subscribe, leave me a comment. I am so thankful that you came to hang out. I'll catch you on the flip side.